Hello, my name is Surbhi, and in this video I'll be telling you the recipe of cinnamon rolls. So let's start with the ingredients: maida, salt, sugar, yeast, butter, water and milk. All the proportions are given in the recipe card. So first of all, we'll add salt to our flour. Make sure your flour is always sieved while you are making any kind of dough. Now we'll make a little space in between and we'll add yeast and sugar into it, and we will add a little amount of water to dissolve these two. Because we are using instant dry yeast, we do not have to give it time to bloom. Instant dry yeast just dissolves in water and starts to activate. So here you can see I'm just dissolving my yeast and sugar together, and now we'll start kneading the dough using our milk. And remember, the milk should not be cold, the milk should be at room temperature. So first of all, we have to incorporate all the flour with milk and water. Make sure that the entire thing is damp, not wet, and then we start kneading the dough. Another ingredient that will go inside is milk powder, which has to be added into the dough at this stage. Now you have to mix everything together, and then add milk first, and then if required we'll need it using water. So first of all, use the entire quantity of milk that is given in this recipe, and then switch to water. Basically, the cinnamon rolls which are traditionally made have egg and a lot of milk into it. It's a very rich dough. So here we do not want to add egg, so we have made the entire dough using milk, and we have added a little bit of milk powder so that it can get the same amount of richness. Now my milk is over. Now I'm switching to my water. If you want, you can make the entire dough with milk. It will become very soft and a little difficult to handle, but just be patient and knead the dough. So now once all the ingredients are damp, or it is becoming like a dough, now is the time you start kneading it. First of all, make sure no flour is left out. Before you start kneading, make sure all the flour is incorporated. Now see, here I am stretching my dough. If you want, you can use a dough scraper to help you so that nothing is left onto your station. Just scrape off everything and you can add it into your dough. So now see, I am stretching my dough backwards and forwards, and then I will shift to the V form, that is left, center, right, center. So right now I am just giving it a very light knead, and then I'll start. Yes, so here I am starting with stretching of my dough. Now you have to do this step for about 8 to 10 minutes. Like if you are a pro at this, then you would take approximately 7 to 8 minutes. But if you are just starting doing this, then it would take around 10 to 12 minutes to complete this step. I have been kneading my dough for 4 to 5 minutes now, and you can see it has already started changing the texture of the dough. It is starting to become smooth and softer. Make sure you stretch it properly so that all the gluten is formed, all the gluten stretches, and you get a nice texture once you cut the bread. So just keep kneading, be patient, and just do like I am doing, front or back, whatever is preferable. Like this is front and back method, or you can do the V method, like right, then center, then left, right, center, left, right, center, left, right, center, and left. So whatever is comfortable to you, you can do that. Basically, the point is to stretch the dough so that the gluten forms and you get a nice texture from inside. Now my bread dough is almost soft enough. It has been kneaded for about 8 to 9 minutes now. Now it's the time when we add our soft butter to it. Make sure your butter is not too cold. So now I am adding soft butter to this. What I will do is first cream the butter onto the station. Once it's done, then I will incorporate the butter into my dough by kneading the dough over this butter. Make sure to incorporate the last bit of butter which is on the station into your dough. Keep kneading it till it becomes soft and smooth. Maybe the dough might get sticky during this step, but be patient, keep kneading, it will come together. Do not worry, do not add more flour into it. Just keep kneading the dough and it will become soft and smooth and silky. So you just have to knead for another 2 or 3 minutes and then your dough will be ready, and then we'll keep it for the first fermentation. So you can see that now my dough is ready. I'm putting it for fermentation. That is the first fermentation. I have greased a container and now I will put the dough inside the container and then cover it for and keep it aside for about 35 to 45 minutes. Now it depends upon the area you are living in. If it's a very hot area, it would ferment earlier and it would take less time, but if it's a cold area it might take longer. So just cover it and keep it aside. We will check this dough after 35 to 45 minutes. First we'll check after 35 minutes and then 45 minutes. So now we'll make our filling for the cinnamon rolls. We have some soft butter, caster sugar and cinnamon powder. Now if you want, you can add some nutmeg powder or some other kind of spice powder. You can even chop some nuts or raisins and you can add it into this butter. So the filling basically depends upon you. You can just you can make a filling of butter and chocolate, like that would become a chocolate roll. So you can do any kind of filling. So just whisk it or just mix it with a spoon and make it into a fine paste. Make sure it does not become too liquidy. If it becomes too liquidy, then keep it in fridge for 5 minutes and then take it out. So here my paste of butter, cinnamon and sugar is ready. Just taste and check. Now 45 minutes are done. I have knocked back my dough and I have taken it out on a working station. Now is the time to shape the dough. We will start by gently pressing the dough and then we will roll the dough. See the way I am doing, you can use a normal roti roller or chapati roller, or you can use this kind of roller for rolling the dough. Whatever is preferred by you. Make sure to dust some flour on your station so that it does not stick to the station. Just roll it and try to keep a rectangular shape, which becomes easier to shape it and it will get an even finish to the product, even filling to the product. So just stretch it by hand a little, make sure it becomes rectangle and it's not too out of shape, because if it's uneven then it would be rolled unevenly and the product would not come out as great as it would if it is rolled evenly. So now I'm almost done with rolling it. Make sure it should be a rectangle and not a square. One side should be bigger than the other. So yeah, I am just stretching it a little more and just rolling it a little more. The thickness should be around like half centimeter or a little lesser than that, but not more than half a centimeter, the thickness of the dough right now. Now what we'll do is we'll take our sugar, cinnamon and butter paste and we will spread it out using a spatula. So here you can see is that now I use a spatula to just spread it out evenly. Make sure to not cover, do not cover the ends of the dough. If you cover till the end of the dough, then the dough will not stick and the filling will come out of the dough. Now my filling has almost spread evenly. Now it's time to roll it. We will start rolling from the bigger side and not from the smaller side. So we'll just pinch a little while rolling it so that it does not become too loose. And at the end we just have to pinch in all the loose ends. Okay, so now we will divide it into maybe 8 or 9 equal parts. Like that depends upon you, like what size of cinnamon roll you want. So with the help of a dough scraper or with a knife, you can do it. Just divide it equally and start cutting it. Make sure to keep all the sizes equal so that when it goes for baking, it is baked evenly. If the sizes are not even, then the baking would not happen evenly. So I've cut it into pieces and now I will place them in my mold and keep it for second fermentation. So here I've taken a round mold, but you can even take a rectangular mold or any kind of mold you want. Now we will brush the mold so that it is easier to take them out once they are baked. The mold is greased now. Now we will start arranging them. Do not put them to the wall of the mold. Keep them away from the wall of the mold because they will ferment and get bigger and then they would stick together. Do not stick them initially. Give them space. So now we are putting the last one, and one we can bake separately just as a trial, or if you want to add this also inside this, you can add. Now we will cover this up, or you can just keep it blankly. We can just leave it for fermentation or we can cover it up. That depends upon you. Now I'm gonna cover it and keep it for 35 to 45 minutes for fermentation. Now this is gonna rest for 35 to 45 minutes. Don't they look yummy right now only? Like they look so delectable. Don't you think, guys? So now they have been fermented. What we are gonna do is we are gonna give it a milk wash. Now if you are a person who eats egg, you can give it a egg wash, but here I am giving my milk wash. Just check from a side, you can just tab it and see if it bounces back, that means it has been fermented. See, it came back to its own place, it means it has been fermented properly. So now we are giving it a milk wash. This will an even milk wash will ensure that they are baked evenly. They look browner on the top, but they're softer inside. So yeah, we are giving it a milk wash. Then we are going to keep it in the oven to bake. Now we'll place them in a preheated oven for about 35 minutes, 30 to 35 minutes. We'll check the color after 30 minutes and then keep it for extra 5 minutes if the color is not good. And see, these are baked. And we have to bake them at 200 degrees Celsius. So these look so amazing. The color is so perfect on top. So now just let them cool for a minute and then you can just apply some butter on top of it. So butter will give a shine to your rolls and it would keep it softer. It wouldn't get the crust, it would keep it softer. Otherwise the crust tends to get hard. So we just apply a little butter on top, and voila, these are ready to eat. Eat them hot and serve them with coffee or hot chocolate. So these are an amazing treat for any evening tea or an amazing dessert on itself. Like, serve them hot with vanilla ice cream, they taste so great. I hope that this video was clear. If you have any doubts regarding any of these 4 videos, please WhatsApp me or email me. I'll be available. You can ask me whatever question you have and I would reply to it. Thank you, and I think everything was clear, and see you next time.